Hi, Evans and Adams. So today I want to take you through the accounting bit. So practically, just going to close this. Practically, is I'll look into the projects. I'll see how they can get some money from some external entity like a sponsor or funds from somewhere else. And then I'll look at the expenditure, how they can capture expenditure for the project. And then 3, I'll look at the reconciliation. And then 4, I'll look at budgeting. I'll also look at the reports involved from it. So first we'll create a project. I'm going to go to projects here. I can also come here in the main menu and then just look for project, type project. I'll see it here and then click on it. So I'll create a project. Let's say we have a project for polio vaccination or environmental degradation. It looks very much environmental degradation. Then I create the project. So I can still go back to project. So I see that project or click here, still the same, to go to project. Now I can see my project. Where is it? Environmental degradation. Environmental degradation is here. I can search for it, just typing environment. I don't need to type everything and then search for project. There are other search filters, just search project. Now I want to add more data on this project. I will click on these 3 dots here and then click edit. I want to edit the project and add more data. I can add the project manager, if that project responsible, maybe just the administrator. And then the customer, let me say this project is funded by the World Bank. So I want to track the timesheets. So the people who are managing this project, they can create tasks for this project by just clicking on tasks here, and then they will be able to create the tasks. They'll be able to see all of the tasks that are available for it. I don't want to go into that one. There are also other needs, documents. There are any document, they can upload the document. Just clicking here, and then they will upload the document, create the document, and then upload it directly. All the documents related to this project. If there are vehicles that are for this project, you can select them. If the people are working on this project and they want to capture the time spent on it, you can just enter the time spent on each task, the task you are assigned to, and then the time spent on that task. That's not our work today. We are focusing on accounts. After creating the project, let's say World Bank funded this project. The next thing I need to do a budgeting. I'll go to budget. I budget myself here. Budget. I have several budgets in this. A budget we only have one running budget. Must only have one running budget in validated state. There should be not more than 2, only one. Now I have one budget validated here. Now I want to add that project in this budget so I can track whatever the expenses are there. If I edit when it is validated, I can't add anything on the expense line, which is I wanted to add that project here. So what I will do is I will cancel the budget. I will reset to draft. Now I can be able to edit. I will add my project here, which was environmental degradation. Environmental degradation. Degradation. Then I create it from here. I will add the expense account. I will be expending into. Let me just say I'm expending through expense account. And if I don't have it, I can create the account directly by creating here. I enter the code. I will assign it a code. You can't repeat a code for accounts. I say I need an environmental degradation expenses. So I will select the type of account. When you're creating the account, these are the type of accounts. Expense account. One, it can be a receivable for the debtors. It can be bank and a cash for the payment month. The current asset down there, fixed asset. For the liabilities, so we have the accounts of type balance sheet accounts, which are here, all of them. We also have equity on the balance sheet, and then we have accounts of the type income and profit and loss. one of it being the income, another one being the expense. So I'll say this is for expenses. Now you can select the default tax that will be chargeable. Every time you post on that account, automatically it picks default tax. I don't want to pick the default tax, so I will save my account. Then I will save here the budget allocation. Analytic account is the costing account where I will be posting this project. And the moment you create a project, automatically it creates the analytic account or the costing account, environmental declaration. So when the project is starting from, it is ending at that point. How many amount am I going to assign this project to spend? I'm going to spend, let me say 100, 1 million, 1, 2, 3 on this project. So that's it. I will confirm my project directly there, and then I approve. So the confirming and the approve is done by different people. The Liberian people will give us those people who approve the budget. They confirm. Once you confirm, you submit this budget to the ministry. The ministry will approve that it is okay. Once it is okay, or they will update, say no, change this, changes to this, this. When they change, you can come and edit. Always, if they change, they make a change, tell you, because you can print this budget here. I didn't install the budget, the printing. It is here. You can print it and then send an email with the attachment of the budget to the ministry. The ministry will look at it and they say, please update, like for salaries, make it not 1200, but put it 400 million, whichever they can put. So how do you update that one? You can just click cancel, reset. So every time you are entering an expense on your project, you make it negative. But if you are budgeting for revenue to come, you make it positive. You add the line of revenue and make it positive. So let me say they say it no, make salaries to be 1 million, 1, 2, 3, like that. So you can save. So you can do all those updated. So once you have done it, you confirm, send back to them, the ministry will approve. One day they say that it's okay. Now you also come here and then click approve. So the budget will be approved. Now it's working. Remember, I told you it must always be approved or in validated state. Now from here, once we have approved the budgets, let's begin to do transactions on our project. Like for instance, you can also receive money on the project. Maybe they fund and send 10 million. I know the minister received it, but you can also receive directly. But now I'm just going to focus on expenses. Let's say with the environmental declaration and got an expense or documentation, they want some photocopying papers. How do they proceed? They have to make a request, and the request will go through approvals, and then after approvals, it will create a purchase order. After purchase order, it will create an accounting invoice, and then we can proceed from there. Let me just check that I'm recording. Yes, I'm recording. So let's say the project manager will make a request. Just click on internal request here, and then create a request for that particular project called photocopying papers. Now you can see all the requests. When you create a request, automatically populate the name of the employee, the department it comes from. On this is already set up. So once we go live, we'll need the list of employees, their department and all that, and then you can set up in the system. So if you want to see the profile for this particular employee administrator, just click here. Then you can see the profile, this icon here. Then you can see who is the logistic manager down there, everything. The executive director is who down there, the manager of this person is there, and all the other information, including the work email, which is very important for us because our system always sends notification. So down there now we'll add a line by clicking position lines product. I will add the product that I want to request. Let me say photocopying papers. I have another product that I want to request. Let me say air conditioner. I want to request air conditioner. So the system automatically shows me how many are available in the warehouse on hand. Like photocopying papers, I have 9. So the procurement team can make decision whether to just transfer from the warehouse to this department to the person who has requested, or buy more. So for air conditioners, I can say I want 4 of them. Now I save. If I save, the system asks me for the reasons for requisitions. I'll just say the reasons are restocking, for photocopying papers, and for project offices, the air conditioners. And then I save. So once the project manager saves, he clicks send request for approval. I'm clicking on this one, send for approval. So once he sends for approval, the first person to approve is the manager. The manager can decide to reject. If you reject, you have to give the reason why you are rejecting here, and then send reason. It will send an email to the project requester that it has been rejected because of this reason. But now I want just to approve. store manager will approve it. The next person to approve the request is the warehouse manager. He will approve it. The third person is the logistic manager. For EPA, if you have a different workflow for approval, they will share with us. Now, once you are at admin approval, you edit, and then you have to add some information here. First of all, the budget from which you are taking these items. Our budget is our project, and our project was environmental declaration because we created that project. Another budget here, I am still doing the same, it's in environmental declaration. And if maybe it's just a general expenses, you can also pick the expenses directly from here. Communication expense, salaries, African motors and all that. But now I'm working on a project because I want to track the cost based on the project. Now the other thing you need to do is the procurement method. This is the procurement team. They need to select how they are going to get this item. So there is 3: internal transfer, direct procurement, and open tender. Internal transfer means transfer from the warehouse it's available. Direct procurement means create a quotation, a RFQ, send to the supplier, then create a purchase order, create a bill from it. Open tender means create a tender. So I'll click because photocopying papers I have them on hand 9. I'll do internal transfer from the warehouse. But this one I don't have anything. I will buy it, direct procurement. So I just want to go through it. The tender we can look at it later because it involves procurement. So once you have selected this one, you click admin approval. It will tell you please enter at least one vendor on requisition lines for requisition direct procurement. So for direct procurement, I must keep the supplier direct procurement. So I'll select the supplier from here. So I say it is Adom Arakwa Enterprises. You can select multiple suppliers, but I don't want to go into that. So once you do that, remember we are still requesting for the item. It's going through the approvals. The last person to approve is the admin. So once the admin has approved, now the procurement team can close the requisition. Now what has happened is there are 2 items. One item we picked from the warehouse, another item we bought, that is we did an RFQ. You can see those transactions here. Those are the transactions that you did. You directly transferred from the warehouse. You can click here, you see that transaction here. If you go to the warehouse dashboard, you'll see also that transaction there on the dashboard. Warehouse, that is inventory, you see that transactions among those that are to receive, several of them there. You see it there, one of it. And then the warehouse team can train them how to receive it, how to send it back to the user. Now for that one that you did a purchase order or RFQ, you'll see them in RFQ, request for quotation. You click here, you see it. It is the RFQ number 41, which was produced on the requisition number 24. Now the same thing as it has created a shortcut here, it has also created this PO in purchases. So if I leave internal request and then I go to purchases, I'll see that PO purchases here. And remember, it also sends notification to the respective people. They get alerts in their emails. Now my purchase order was 40. I can search for it. I'll see it is here. It is created 40. There are also other purchase orders that are already created. So if I go to that purchase order 40, let's see now the process of purchase order. We have created a purchase order from the requisition that the project manager, project requester requested. Now from the purchase order, we need to select the people who are going to approve. The person who prepared it. Let me say it was the administrator. I'm going to pick the same administrators because if I pick another person, it will always ask you to log in and approve. You cannot approve on behalf of another person. So I'll pick administrator, so it becomes much easier. I'll pick administrator, it becomes much easier. And then even the procurement manager, I pick administrator. So make sure all these fields are filled here. Only this what you do in the procurement, nothing else. These other things, don't touch them. They are not important. And the item that we bought is this one. Now on the item line, you can see here the planned amount and used amount. This is pulling from the budget. It automatically shows you what is the planned amount, how much has been used, and then what are the quantities. And let me say the unit price for this RFQ is air condition. We are buying at $1,000 for it. $1,000. And then the other thing you need to add is the analytic account. Analytic account is the budget account. When I select it, to show me what is available planned amount for that item and the used amount. And I'm just going to pick the project environmental declaration. Automatically it has loaded for me that it is $1 million that is allocated for environmental declaration, and used amount we are used 0. So I will save it. Once I save, Now I click send for approval so that all these people can approve. Remember, there will be different people. So I click send for approval, then it goes to send for approval. Now the approvals are loaded here, all of them. So what will happen is this person will be the first person to get an alert in the email with a link, clicks on the link to open this PO, and then he just comes here, clicks here, then it shows that approved. Now it goes an alert to the second person, this administrator, approved. An alert to the third person, approved. You can also reject by just clicking here, reject, to reject, approve. So all the four people have approved my purchase order. That's why it has created a receipt showing that the items are coming, and then a vendor. This receipt is also on the warehouse dashboard. That is the receipt for Edom Araqua for this warehouse 005. If I go to the warehouse dashboard on overview, I should be able to see that Araqua 005. You can remove the red here so that you can see it. And it should be 0045, this one, the first one. Always the first one is the current one, Araqua. So when they receive it, the warehouse person just click validate, and then validation means moving it to stock. Now let's go back to our PO. We have finished approval of the PO. Now it is finance. Finance will create an invoice for it by just clicking create an invoice. Remember, we are the project people wanted to buy an air conditioner and then sell. So when you create an invoice directly from the PO, it is also created in accounts. So I'll go to accounts and look for this invoice for Edom Enterprises. So I'll go to accounts here. Then I go to now vendors, because they are suppliers, bills. Now I have that one for Edom Enterprises. Those that are draft are always blue in color. The ones that are validated are black in color. So I'll open it. Once I open it, I will check everything to make sure it's okay. Especially on the item lines, where are we posting the expense account. Remember, I created an environmental declaration expense account. I can select it, and then the analytic account is the budget account is environmental declaration. Again, just name the same so it becomes easy. The number of items were 4, just to make sure it's okay. The price is okay now, and that's enough. I can put VAT or remove VAT, which is 10%. So once I've done everything like this, counter check is okay, and then that I'll just post it. Post means validate it. So once I've posted, what will happen is the Liberian people, the ministry will write a check, and the check will go to the bank, and then one time we'll go to the bank and collect the bank statement, maybe at the end of the month. It will also contain that check payment to this particular supplier. So after that, when I get the bank statement, I will show you the reconciliation. How do I reconcile this invoice? So I will go to reconciliation. I'll go to overview. Overview shows me all the bank accounts and the customer invoices. I can select the bank I'm paying through from here. I have this bank here, GT Bank. I have other banks, Central Bank there. I have this other bank, Eco Bank. I have this other bank, Eco Bank, which is with their balances also. All that, I have those bank accounts. So let me say I want to pay through even IM Bank or Eco Bank. So basically what happens is we give you an Excel file, you populate all the bank statements, and then you upload into the system by just importing that Excel file you've given you, and then selecting the whatever you have populated, and then upload. I've not done that one, but we'll show you when we go live how to do it. And now I want just to create the bank reconciliation manually, so you can see how it happens. I just come to the bank and then I click create. So when I click create, the name of my bank record, I just create it Rico for April, and then the starting balance, it shows me the previous reconciled balance. The ending balance will be the sum of all this plus 150. So I'll add the bank statement line. One of the bank statement line is for that invoice that I've just done for air conditioners. So I'll go to accounting so I can know that invoice. Assuming the ministry paid to the bank for Araqua the same amount, 4,400 for this particular invoice. So when you want the bank statement, we captured it. It's captured in the bank, that invoice number with the supplier as Araqua. think it's Adom Arokwa Enterprises. You may have two of them. Okay, Adom Arokwa Enterprise. Sure. The total amount was, let's say, 4,400. The bank reference, let's say, they just referred to it. It was being payment of air conditioners. They may have a different reference or KA, the check number, or all that, or everything. And then I save that one. Once I save, I'll make sure my ending balance is this ending balance here. It can reconcile. This ending balance is my ending balance. Save. Once I save, now I can click reconcile. So I will add all the bank statement lines here, one I've received from the bank, and then click reconcile. So when you click reconcile, the system automatically suggests the available invoices with the bank statement line. It has suggested to me that the invoice for bank statement line this is for Arokwa. So what I need to do is just to click validate here. But now I want to add something more. If I click reconcile, let me add the let's say we had some bank charges. So I'll type bank charges. So you see how we write off the bank charges. We don't have a enter for bank charges. The reference was let's say KGH 2021-09/2021, and the bank charges were like $110. So I need to make sure this is also the same, 810. The ending balance should be the same. So I have two entries, an invoice and a bank charge, so I'll reconcile them. So for the first one, the bank automatically, the system suggests for me, that's why it gives validate, because it has seen there is an open invoice for the same Adom Arokwa Enterprises for that same amount. So I'll just click validate. It has validated. And then for the bank charges, I click here, choose account account here, and then I have created a journal, an account for bank fees, which is a write-off account. Just click on it, then to show me the write-off entries, how they will be posted, and then just click validate. And I click validate, the system shows me love message, you have reconciled only in 16 seconds for it. So I'll go back to RICO for April, and then I validate my RICO. That is validated. So that's how reconciliation happens. Now let me go and look at the reconciliation report for this particular bank, EcoBank Liberia. So I'll go to overview, then I look for EcoBank Liberia is there, and then these three dots, I click on it, and then I click on reconciliation report. There are other reports there, you can click on them and see them. You can see my reconciliation report. It's reconciled. Last bank statement is that. Operation to process, I don't have any to process. And explain differences, I don't have any to explain it different. I can print this, I will see it, the reconciliation in PDF. I can send the reconciliation to Excel here. I can do anything. I can change the entries to include posted entries. I can change the dates for reconciliation and see all the reconciliation of that particular date. Maybe it was the reconciliation for April, can change it and then select for April, end of last month, or custom, select the end date, whichever date from the calendar. So that's as far as invoices and bank reconciliation is concerned. Let's say you received some revenue from taxes or licenses. How do you capture that one? Come to customers, click on invoice, then get the invoice. Let's say I received revenue from a certain person, Peter Mondoko. He paid for licenses and registration. So there are also others. Let's say licenses, and then I can also pick the costing account here directly if I have it, wherever I'm posting from, or if I'm posting to the project, I can post to the project, whichever. Let me say here I'm posting on biodiversity environmental project, whichever. You can post anywhere, or you create a new posting account, so you can see the costing for it, for the revenue. So the price, I say, if it by default we have made it 100 for all licenses, but you can change it and say 200. If it is VAT, if it's non-exempt, you can just remove that one. So I pick the whole amount 200. Then I save. Again, I post. I've captured licenses. And then if the customer paid by cash for this one, I just click register payment. If they pay through the bank, you go through the reconciliation. They will show you reconciliation. By cash, just click register payment. Then select cash USD. The amount is that, and then validate your invoice. Now if you see it's marked it as paid, and then I come here, I can see paid on that, due is 0. I can print the payment receipt by just clicking on this eye icon, view, and then print payment receipt, and then save. It's always in PDF. That's the payment receipt. Print and give the customer, the client, directly. So that is how you can capture all those revenues, whether it is tax or it's licenses. You get an invoice like that directly. Now the other thing, let's see the performance of some of the reports that you've done. Like the report for that project, you always go to analytic accounts, analytic reports here. Then I select the analytic here. I remove malaria. It was environmental degradation. You can see the report for environmental degradation. I open it, and then I go to analytic entries. I can see those entries. I have received some 200 on that account. I have spent 4,000. Now the total is, the remaining is 3,800. So that's how you can see the report. And so all the entries will be here for that particular report. You can also print the whole report directly from your export to Excel, print preview, like that. You can see some more option, unfold everything, and then you can print it as you should unfold it. And then there are also other reports, like for instance, profit and loss report is there. You can see it there. You can print in a PDF there. You can open it. You can also in Excel, export in Excel. You can see it directly. And then 3. There are also more reports here. Balance sheet report. You can do the same thing for balance sheet report. You can compare balance sheet for period same last year or custom date. Select from the calendar. You can view posted entry or unfold everything to see all the unfolded. You can drill down a balance sheet report like bank. I can see the entries of the bank here. Journal items. You can see all of them here. Also more reports are there. Partner ledger, which is the partner statement, is here available. I can say I want to see only for, like for now I'm doing for a pair, I want to see the one for Adom Enterprises, Dom Araqua. You can see that. It will show me Dom Araqua is that one. I can click on that icon. I see all the invoice entries. I can export it there. I can print preview. After printing, I can send to the customer the statement of all of it. Still more reports. Cash flow statement is there. Other reports are like age payable and age receivable. For the suppliers payable, you can see it. Our repayments period. And then the other thing, you can see more report. The trial balance is there. And then we also have the budget analysis report. It's here. Budget analysis report. You can see the planned amount, practical amount for each budget. Like the budget we used to was for procurement for April. You can see all that, and then the percentage utilization for each budget. That and the percentage utilization for each budget. So, and then the other thing I forgot to tell you, when you are doing that bill invoice, like the Atom Araqua Enterprises, let me just, you can duplicate it directly. You don't need to, if it's the same customer with the same product, you can come on it and just duplicate it like that. And then once you duplicate, you can still again post it again. Now the other thing I told you, can print the invoices from here. Just print the invoice. See it. You can send to the Liberia government for payment that invoice for it, and then they can pay the check to the bank. And then the other thing is on purchase orders. What I didn't tell you on purchase orders, if you open it, any of it, let me say I duplicate this one. You can send the supplier the purchase order by email by just clicking there. send by email. It will say you are sending this purchase order to this one. You don't need to go to your document, the procurement team. You don't need to go to your email and then send from there. You can send directly from here. Select, this is the information that will be there. You can add this information, add more here. You can even add, say thank you, whatever you want. You can reframe it. It also has that attachment for it, for request for quotation. You can see it from here. You can see that attachment there for item request for quotation. Now you can send it to the supplier. If you confirm after the whole approval has been done for the NINI, you can also send by email to the purchase order to the supplier. You can send by email purchase order to the supplier. So that is it, the whole flow for budget, for accounting. The journal entries are there. You can see them from here, accounting journal entries. You can even create a correction journal automatically, reference, add the whatever, the account to credit, and add another line for account to debit, and then post when they are balanced, which affect your trial balance. And then the other thing, there are configurations here. You can set up taxes from here. All the taxes are here. If I open like for this purchases tax, you can see percent. You can change the percent from here by editing. You can create another tax like withholding tax by just creating, and then enter the tax name from here and the percentage of withholding from here. And then the other thing in the configurations is journals, which are the cash books, like the bank accounts. You can create them from here by just clicking create. You see the bank account, the bank name from there, the type of bank. If it's bank account, select bank. If it is cash, select cash. Maybe you are paying through mobile money, you can select cash and name that cash. And then the code, this code is the one that will appear in transactions, so you can easily differentiate the different transactions that have been posted to different cash books or journals. And then the default accounts that will be for this particular cash book or journal. Another thing is just picking what is very important, currencies. If you are using multiple currencies, these are basically what we are using right now are this one, AED, Euro, Liberian dollar, USD dollar. If you want to enable another one, like for instance, let me imagine I want to enable this one, just click on it, edit, and then click active, like that. Then you can also set the rate by clicking on rate, and then here, create, and then the rate for that one for one Liberian dollar is how much, then save it. So that's as far as currency is concerned. And when you are doing the invoice directly, you can select the multi-currency. If you are doing in a different currency, you just come here, and then you change the currency. Remember, you cannot change what is posted. You have to make sure that it is in draft state. I can change and pick like for Liberian currency from here directly. And then the chart of accounts is here. You can see all the chart of accounts here. You can create a new chart of account directly from here. Enter the code, enter the name of the chart of account, the account type from here, whether it is an income account, an expense account down there, whether it is on the balance sheet, asset or liabilities. You can select it from there. If you want the tax to be affected for every entry that is posted on this account, you select the type of tax from here. If not, just leave it open. And also, if you want the chart of account to handle multi-currency and different currency or foreign currency, you can select the currency from here. Reconciliation, allow reconciliation is only for payables and receivables, which are creditors and debtors. So thank you so much. I think I've explained everything. And if you have any question, you can ask Evans or Adams. Thank you so much.